Hello, this is a video produced by the Lansing Building Products Marketing Department on how to build a pitch book in the Simonton ProNetwork program. This is a 30-minute video, and we're going to cover three different things in this video. Before we get started in ProNetwork, we're going to give you a couple of useful tips before you get started. Then we're going to go into the ProNetwork program and actually build the pitch book there. And then we're going to finish up and show you some useful ways on how you use the pitch book and how you share the pitch book, how you use your phone to access it, how you share it, how you use your tablet to access it and share it. Some really useful tips in that area. So again, this is a 30-minute video, and we hope you find it useful. My first suggestion before you start building your pitch book is to get yourself organized and to have all the files that you're going to use for the pitch book in one easily accessible file on your computer. So I've created one here on my desktop, TrueGuard Assets. I'm going to open this up and let you know what you're going to want to have ready to go when you start building your pitch book. You're going to want to have some information that you can copy and paste into the pitch book on your company. 5, 6, 7, 8 bullet points about why you are unique and different. You're going to want to have your insurance document ready to go. 3 or 4 or 5 different customer testimonials is something that you can insert into the pitch book. You're also going to want to have your own value proposition spelled out in 3 or 4 sentences that says to the customer why you are going to do a great job for them. So have that ready where you can copy and paste it into the pitch book. There's also a section for your own testimonial. There's an area where you can upload a picture of yourself, have beauty shots ready to go, completed projects that you've done. You can insert those into the pitch book and your logo as well. So this is the file that you're going to want to have organized and easily accessible as you build your pitch book. So the Simonton Pitch Book Maker allows you to upload your logo into the pitch book. They are very specific in the size that they want the logo to be. And so a lot of folks don't know how to resize a logo. So one of the easiest ways to do it is if you go to www.pickresize.com. This is a free website that allows you to resize your logo. So what you do, logo should be from your computer, but you hit this browse button right here, and you look through your files to find the logo. So there's my TrueGuard logo, and it just uploaded it there. I click this continue button at the bottom, and then we scroll down, gives you a couple different options where you can rotate it or crop it. We want to resize it, so option number 2, you hit this drop down, you say you want it to be a custom size. Simonton says they want it to be 1350 wide by 450 pixels tall. So you type that in, you scroll to the bottom, and you say, I'm done, resize my picture. And the image was successfully resized. Let's just view it to be sure. There it is, that looks good. And so then what you have to do is you save it to disk or you save it to your computer. So it downloaded it there, and I'm going to hit export. I want to save it to my TrueGuard Assets file, and I'm going to call it TrueGuard and it's a JPEG. I'm going to hit send or save, and I'll X out of that, X out of this, and that is how you resize a logo. Okay, now that we've created an organized file that we have all of our assets in that we're getting ready to use to build our pitch book, and now that we've resized our logo 1350 by 450 pixels, we're ready to start building our pitch book. So here we are at the ProNetwork site, where the site is www.pronetwork.com. I've entered in my username and my password, And if you're not already a member of the Simonton Pro Network, you go to the same site, pronetwork.com. You click on the Sign Up Now button, and you complete a questionnaire, and they'll email you your username and password, and you're a member of the Simonton Pro Network program. But I'm going to hit Sign In. Here we are inside of the Simonton Pro Network website. What we're going to do in order to build the pitch book, we're going to click on Digital Marketing, and then we're going to click the Continue button. So what this does is now we're in the Profile section where we're going to start building our profile for the pitch book. First step is to upload a logo. So we're going to click this button and go to our TrueGuard Assets file. We're going to find the logo that we just resized, double click that, and here it pops up. Again, it says 1350 by 450 pixel rectangle, so that looks good. I've entered in my company name and my name. The bottom part here is the About Your Company. So what we're going to do is we're going to minimize this screen. We're going to go to our TrueGuard Assets file. We're going to bring up the document that is about our company, and I'm not going to highlight all this, just the bullet points that I want to include in the pitch book. I'm going to right click, copy, X out of this, X out of that, bring up the internet. I'm going to right click, hit paste, and there's 5 bullet points about TrueGuard. It's a little small. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bold it. It's still small. It's still very single spaced. Don't worry about that for now. When it shows up in the pitch book, it's much better spaced and it's bigger text. So always click Save before you click Next and go on to the next section. Qualifications is the next section in the pitch book that we have to fill out. There's a couple different areas that Simonton allows you to put the qualifications. So they have certifications. You can see that I've put my 4 certifications there. There's a licenses portion. If it doesn't apply to you, just click that does not apply. Affiliations, awards, and then there's additional training, and then the last one is community involvement. There's overlap between additional training and the certifications. My recommendation to you would be to put, if you're VSI and AMA certified, to put that under additional training, and then for the programs that you're a part of, like Simonton Preferred Installer or James Hardy, to put those at the top under certifications. So click Save, and we'll go to the next. Here is the testimonials section in the pitch book. You can see that I've already copied and pasted 2 different testimonials for this area. This is, of course, where the customer testimonials go. You put their name and their location and what their comment was. This section up here, this top section, is your testimonial. And so what you're able to do is upload a photo of yourself, and then you essentially say what your testimonial is, what your commitment is to the customer, why you're different, unique, why you're going to do a great job for the customer. So I didn't want to pick on anyone in particular because this might be shared with a lot of different people. So I'm just going to pick on my 3-year-old son and upload a picture of him that I have already in the TrueGuard Assets. So there's Hunt. Choose him, upload. You'll notice that Simonton wants you to have a 370 by 370 pixel square of yourself, of the picture. If your picture isn't that size, you can go back to the picresize.com website and take care of it there. And then Hunt's testimonial, I'm going to minimize this, and I'm going to go into my testimonials page. Here's what Hunt has to say about himself and why he's going to do a good job for these customers. I'm going to copy that, X out, and bring this back in, right click, paste, and we're ready to go. So there's the picture of Hunt or of you. your testimonial, why you're different, why you're unique, and then a couple of customer testimonials. You can add as many as you want. Always hit the Save button and then click Next. The next section is the completed project section. So what we're going to do is we're going to click the Upload Photo so we can show some completed projects that we've done. We're going to hit Choose File. Again, we're going to go back into our organized and ready file and find some beauty shots that we can throw in here. Let's upload this exterior photo. Select that, double click, and this is a little unique. What they want you to do here is they want you to take your mouse, because this looks a little funny. What they want you to do is they want you to take your mouse and select what portion of the photo you want included in the book. So you do that and you click Done, and then it uploads it. It'll ask for a caption. So we can say, "5500 series replacement windows, historic remodel." Then if you want to add more, again, you click the Upload Photo button. I've uploaded a couple of photos into my pitch book. I've put a caption for each of them. I would recommend you putting a handful, 3 or 4 or 5 different pictures in there. And again, make sure you put a caption for each of them. Quick note on these pictures: the Simonton ProNetwork site, or the pitch book, would like for these pictures to be somewhere between 100 kilobytes to, at the max, 250 kilobytes. So if your picture is a larger size than that, again, you can go back to the pick resize and mess with the quality there. So remember to save, and then we're going to go on to the next section. The next section is the business documents section, where we're able to upload the proof of insurance document. So I'm going to hit the upload file. I'm going to find my insurance document. Hit choose. You'll notice here on the right it says should be a PDF or a JPEG. So that looks good. And there is my certificate of insurance to include in the pitch book. Always hit save, and now we'll go on to the next section. The next section is the financing section, and it's asking you if you want to include the fact that you do or do not offer financing. So in this case, we do offer financing, and what's going to show up is this text here, and that is essentially telling the customer that yes, you do offer financing and that they can ask about it. So we'll click Save, and we'll go on to the next section. So now that we've completed our profile, we're going to start creating our pitch book. So we'll hit the Create New button. This section is where we enter in the customer information. Now this isn't Lansing Building Products customer information. This is our customer's homeowner information. So Mr. and Mrs. Jones, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, their address. After completing the customer information, the next section is to determine which photo you'd like to put on the cover of the pitch book. So I'm going to select this one here, then I'm going to hit the next button. So the next section, it's asking, do you want to include the qualifications that we just put in our profile? Do you want to include that in this pitch book? And yes, we do. We'll click the next button. This is the testimonial section. It's asking the same thing. Do you want to include the testimonials that we just completed and filled out into this pitch book? The answer is yes. We will click next. Same thing, completed projects. Do we want to include completed projects into this pitch book? For Fred and Jennifer Mullins, yes. We'll click next. The next question that is going to be asked is, what products do you want to be able to include in the pitch book when you make this presentation to Fred and Jennifer Mullins? So Simonton is offering their entire product line to compare. So everything from the Assure window to the 9800 series. So for Fred and Jennifer Mullins, I want to be able to offer them a good, a better, and a best. So I'm going to click on the 5050 series, the 5300 series, and the 5500 series window. The next section is asking me if I want to include my business documents, my proof of insurance. Yes, so you click the box and then you click Next. The next section is asking me essentially the same thing. Do I want to include the financing information in this pitch book? Yes. Click Next. The final question that's going to be asked is what quality or what resolution do I want this pitch book in? So do I want to have it in a high quality format? The high quality is really meant to be printed, or do I want to have it in a lower quality where I can put it on my iPad, I can put it on my laptop, and is really just meant to be in an electronic format? So I want it in an electronic format, so I'm going to click that, and then I'm going to hit the export button. We hit export. The pitch book was saved to the hard drive on my laptop. Now let's take a look at the finished product. Here's the cover page. You can see that it was created by TrueGuard Construction, especially for their customer, Fred and Jennifer Mullins, and their specific address. Logo looks nice. Cover photo looks good too. Here's the About section on TrueGuard. Their qualifications, certifications, awards, additional training. Here's the testimonial section, the testimony on Hunt, and then of course his two customers. You can add as many as you want. There's some open space down here below. Here's our completed projects. Again, same thing. There's more space below to add more if you'd like. Here's other areas of the pitch book, what to expect during a remodel, why TrueGuard uses Simonton, what makes Simonton unique, why choose vinyl, this part of the pitch book shows the customer how they select the window they're looking for. And if you remember, here is our product comparison, the 5050, 5300, and 5500 windows, and the differences between each one. Here's a more in-depth look at each of the windows. Patio door section. And then it ends with the financing section. So that is the finished product. So I logged back into the ProNetwork site and I went into my account. And one of the neat things about the PitchBook Builder is that not only are you able to save it on your hard drive, of course, but you are also able to save it onto your account in ProNetwork.com. And so you'll see here's the PitchBook that we just created for Fred and Jennifer Mullins. And what you're able to do is you're able to look at it here. You can export it again to a USB drive or Dropbox or a Hightail or something like that. You can go back in and edit the customer information. So if I messed up the address for Fred and Jennifer, and if it wasn't 8501 Sanford Drive, I'd just go back in and I would hit customer information and then enter in the correct address. But the real neat feature is that I'm able to go back in and clone this pitch book and change out whatever it is I wanted to change out. It could be the cover photo. I may have more testimonials I want to add, but I can clone it and then I can change out the customer information. And if I'm running a lead for Ed and Gina Watson in 3 or 4 days, I can have their presentation ready as well. And all I had to do was click the clone button and change the name and the address, or I could have changed a lot more than that. We've created our pitch book and we've saved it to our computer. Now the question is, how do we use it? How is there actual value in this document? How do we share it with others? How do we easily access it? Well, the solution is to set up an account with a cloud-based service like Dropbox. What you do is, and we're looking at the Lansing Building Products Dropbox account, but all you do is you go to dropbox.com if you don't have an account, and you fill out a very simple questionnaire, your email address, and a few other questions. You set up a username and password, and they'll give you a free account that has 2 gigabytes worth of storage. But what this allows you to do is it allows you to access all these files through your iPad, through your iPhone, or through your computer. And while you're going about your day meeting with customers, you're able to access these files from your phone if you'd like, and quickly email them to customers, prospective customers, associates, whoever. So what we need to do then with our Simonton pitch book is we need to upload it into our Dropbox account. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find our Simonton file. Here it is. I'm going to click on it, open it up, and then I'm going to hit this button, this upload button. We're going to be able to choose files. I'll look on my desktop, and we're looking for the completed pitch book. Here it is. So the completed pitch book has now been uploaded to the Simonton file. There it is. And now we're able to send this file out to whoever. We're able to email it out. We're also able to view it if we'd like. We can download this and look at it again on the computer. Or we can share it by clicking the share button. You can also share it by clicking this share link button. And so it's very easy. What this does is it asks for an email. So you type in someone's email. And then you just type in a message. So let's say, for example, this is going to you're running a lead in 2 days. This is going to a prospective customer, and you just send them a very simple message. Looking forward to meeting you on Thursday, May 29th. In preparation for our meeting, I've prepared this document or this presentation for you to review, just so you become familiar with what we're going to be discussing, and let me know if you have any questions. Something very simple like that, I think, goes a long way with homeowners. So having a Dropbox account, maintaining your files, and keeping this pitch book in there makes that very easy. Some of you may be wondering, why don't you just send this out? Why don't you just go to Gmail or go to Outlook or go to Yahoo and go into your regular email and then send this out to associates and customers? And the answer to that is, for Lansing Building Products, this pitch book is too large to be sent out in Outlook. And so what we have to do to get around that is we have to upload it into the cloud and then access this file in the cloud and then email it out as a link for that individual to then download it into their iPad or into their iPhone or into their computer. So that's how we get around that. The other reason why having a Dropbox account is so critical is because this completed pitch book needs to get to your iPad. So what you'll do is the same thing. You just share the link and you email it to yourself and go into your iPad and download that pitch book into your iPad. It's going to show up as a PDF, but once that pitch book is in your iPad, then you're able to do a couple of different things with it as far as a presentation is concerned. So why don't we get into that and what those options are for once this completed pitch book is in your iPad. We've emailed the pitch book to ourselves. Now we're going to get our we're going to get our iPads, and we're going to go into our email on our iPads and retrieve that email and download it into onto our iPads. So the next couple shots that you're going to see here are screenshots from my iPad. But you're going to need 3 apps in order to get that PDF pitch book into a Keynote format. So of course you're going to need Keynote. I have that circled there over on the left. You're going to want to use Dropbox on your desktop or your laptop. You're going to want to have the Dropbox app on your iPad. And then the other critical app, the one that's in the middle there, it's called PDF to Office. That app transfers or converts your pitch book in the form of a PDF. It transfers it into a Keynote format. So having that app is critical and onto your iPad. So here's a screenshot of my iPad. I've downloaded that PDF into my iPad. What you do is you take your finger and you hold it on the screen for about 2 or 3 seconds. And what happens is this menu pops up, and you have a couple different options on the iPad is asking you where you want to put it, where you want to put the PDF. And so you're going to want to select this middle one where the blue arrow is pointing. You're going to want to put it in PDF to Office. So you hit that icon. After you do that, it takes you to this screen, and there on the far left, on the top far left, you'll see is the pitch book. You highlight the pitch book, you just take your finger and tap it, and then you have at the bottom there, I have that first yellow arrow pointing to Keynote. You're going to want to select that middle one, hit that, and then hit the far right button, Convert. So that'll convert it into a Keynote format. Make sure you have a strong Wi-Fi connection. It'll take it a minute or two to convert it from a PDF into a Keynote. Once that's done, this screen pops up, and again you tap the file, and then this menu will pop up. I have that blue arrow pointed to the Keynote icon. Select that icon, and then it'll open up. Actually, it will not automatically open up Keynote for you. It'll just convert it. It'll say that it's been done and it's been converted. And so you'll have to back out of that app, and then you'll have to go into the Keynote app. And when you do that, this screen will open up. It'll look very similar to what my screen looks like. And there you'll see your completed pitch book in the form of a Keynote there with the rest of your presentations. So there it is, it pops up. One of the neat things Keynote with your iPad is that you can use your iPhone as a remote, and you can put your iPad in front of someone else and use your remote or your iPhone as a remote and go through the presentation with your iPhone, but then using your iPad as a screen. So I'm going to demonstrate that to you right now. So here we have our pitch book loaded onto our iPad in Keynote, and then it's also loaded onto our iPhone, but we're using the Keynote Remote App. And so what this allows you to do as the contractor or the remodeler is you're able to control what's on your iPad screen by using your phone. So you can swipe through the different slides, you can swipe back and show the homeowner what's on your screen without having to get beside them and have them lean over your shoulder or get right up against them. So you just go through the presentation in this manner where it's easy to see your screen if someone's sitting on the opposite side of the table from you. The other neat thing about Keynote is that if you want to share the Keynote file, if you want to email it to someone, you have 3 different options on how you want to send it out. You can send it out as a Keynote in this format, or you can send it out as a PDF, which of course we already have it as a PDF in our Dropbox account, so you can always email it out from there as a PDF, or you can convert it, which Keynote will do automatically. You can convert it into a PowerPoint and you can email it out to someone in that format as well. So this concludes our video. Again, in conclusion, we did 3 separate things. We went over a couple of best practices before we got started. We then went into ProNetwork and we built our pitch book online in the ProNetwork program. And then after we did that, we've shown a couple of different ways on how you use it and how you share it. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact us at marketing@lansingbp.com. We'd be happy to answer any of your questions. I hope this video has been useful for you. Again, don't hesitate to reach out, and thanks for watching.